Hello, my beautiful friends on YouTube. I hope you're doing well today. I feel amazing today. So I'm back recording a little vlog type video on my phone because I kind of want to talk about my shift in career after I had my spiritual awakening today. So I guess I'll go back a little bit because when I was in high school, I decided that I was going to go to art school. That is what I knew I wanted to do. I've always been artistic and creative, and so I did. I went to Pratt Institute in New York, and I went to pursue art. And after my first semester, I dropped out and moved back home because it wasn't exactly what I expected. I just kind of like to be free to do whatever kind of art that I choose to do. To make a long story short, I could go into it more why I decided to come back home. But basically, then I decided to go to community college to try and find a better career fit for me for the time. And I guess I just wanted something that was more stable. I've always been really worried about making enough money to be happy. I've talked about that a little bit before on my TikTok, but yeah, it was always the thought that I had was that if I could be financially stable, I could use whatever money I'm making from whatever job to pursue what I actually want to do, which is something within the creative artistic field. So I went to community college and started taking business classes and realized I was pretty good at accounting. And so I pursued it and I got my degree in accounting. And then I moved to Michigan and I got my first accounting job. And honestly, the pandemic played a huge role in my spiritual awakening because I had been working in an office, and then once the lockdown started, I had to start working from home. And I didn't realize how much I thrived working with people face to face. Even if I wasn't talking with the people in the office, as much as I complained about the commute and everything, I liked working in an office, and I found it extremely difficult to focus on my job when I had to do it in the comfort of my own home. So it was a lot of back and forth between myself and my intuition, because my intuition was like, quit this job. This is not meant for you. You're literally miserable. And I was miserable. I felt just like a cog in the capitalist machine. I was just typing in my numbers, making this business money, making myself money, but I wasn't happy doing it. So last summer was the breaking point for me. I just surrendered to my intuition and I was like, fine, I quit this job. And I took the time off to focus on what actually made me happy, and I became really artistic again. And that's when I opened my Etsy store and started to actually do something with my art. And so it's been a while now, and I'm still in search of the perfect job for me. But today I sent in my resume to a local shop around here that I think would be just a perfect fit for me. And I've been looking at other spirituality or crystal stores and stuff like that. And I'm really hoping that this is the one because I feel like it is just such a nice environment. But anyways, the point is everything happened for a reason, and it's all coming together in a way that's meant to be. And I see a lot of other people online who are struggling with their jobs because they're not happy with what they're doing, and a lot of people are in contemplation of whether or not they should quit. And if you can financially, quit and find what you're actually passionate about and pursue that instead. Because I came to the realization that yes, accounting as a career would have kept me financially stable, but at what cost? Because I truly was not happy. And so I'm coming to the realization now that money isn't everything. Money doesn't buy happiness. Money is just energy. That's all it truly is. And so as long as I'm making enough to pay my bills and keep me alive, that's all I need. I don't need all this excess. So yeah, it's just having these realizations was really good, and it was really difficult to come to that decision to quit my job, which was a pretty good job at the time. But everything happens for a reason, and it has led me to where I am today. And I'm feeling such positive vibes today. I'm feeling so happy and so in alignment. And recently, right after I made my most recent vlog, I wrote down in my journal that I'm surrendering to the universe, to my highest self. I already know what's best for me, so it's just time to follow that gut feeling, those intuition feelings, and to just fall in alignment with what is truly meant for me. So I hope this resonates with someone out there. I'm just feeling so good. I hope that I'm giving you some of my positive energy because you deserve it too. I want everyone to feel this level of happiness because it has been such a wild ride. And if you're in the middle of it, I've been there and I know how you're feeling. I know how confusing and difficult it feels. I still have confusing and difficult days. This is just a really good one. So I'm giving you all of my positive energy and I'm hoping the best for anyone else who is in the middle of a spiritual path like this, because wow, looking at myself a year ago, working at the office job that I had, I am not even close to that person that I was. And I couldn't be happier about it, even though I had some really dark days and some really hard and confusing times. It is all falling into place finally, and I'm just so happy about it. And speaking of the art school that I went to, I have a YouTube channel, my older YouTube channel that I used to post on. I decided to start fresh this year since obviously, like I said, I'm just a completely different person than I used to be. But on my old channel, I did talk about my art school experience a little further, and I kind of want to talk about it again. I've just been looking at some of my old art projects from art school and just becoming re-inspired to create new things. And I've been thinking about doing like an evolution of my art type video because everything I make is just kind of random, and I think that's kind of fun. So if you're interested in that, let me know, my evolution of my art, because I went from photography to making t-shirts to painting to wire wrapping. Like I find something and I'm like, ooh, I want to try this. And that's how art goes for me. And I think it's really fun. So let me know if you want to see my art or if you want art tutorials, because I film the process a lot too, but I haven't gotten around to actually uploading like a process video. So if that's something you'd be interested in, let me know. And something else I just want to touch on, if anyone is watching this who is still in college or even in high school and hasn't gotten to college yet, or anyone who's just not sure about what path they want to take with their lives career-wise, or something along those lines, go with what makes you happy. What is it in life that genuinely brings you joy, and make a career out of that, make a living, make an earning out of that, because it really is not about the money. And I try not to have regrets about my college experience because, again, everything happens for a reason. And I used to get caught up in thought loops about how I regret dropping out of art school because clearly that's what I was meant to do in the long run. But without my experiences going to school for business, I would have lost out on a lot of the things I learned, even the people that I met, the classes that I took. Everything that I learned was purposeful still, even though I no longer really want to use accounting as my career. It is all falling into place, like I said earlier. So like for me, for a while, I was like, I can't just quit my accounting job. Like I spent 4 years pursuing this degree. I spent so much money getting this degree to like not use it. Like it doesn't make any sense, but it doesn't have to make sense. And it's like, even though you put in all the work to do that, you spent the money to do that, if it's not meant to be, just let it go. Just let it go. Try not to regret the things that you went through, because everything happens for a reason. And just start fresh, start new, and start to do what makes you happy. I can't get that point across more. Make yourself happy. That's the least you can do for yourself in this life, right? Thinking about everything that I just said, I'm just realizing too that it so aligns with the tarot reading that I did for myself today. Like I pulled the reversed death card for like my current situation, and it's so like I am at the point where like my transformation is becoming like a backstory to like how I got to where I am today. And like where I am today, I'm actually super proud of. Finally, for the first time, I'm actually like looking back and realizing how much work I put into healing and to transforming myself. And I feel like sharing a little bit of my history of college and stuff like totally is in alignment with my entire reading, because I pulled some other relevant cards too. But it's just so funny how stuff like that works out, you know? Something else that I want to just talk about really quick is how passionate I feel about moving out of your hometown, because I think I really do contribute a lot of these big realizations I had to living in a brand new place with nobody that I know other than my boyfriend that I live with, because I had no like distractions, and as much as I miss my friends every single day, I was forced to be alone sometimes with nothing but my thoughts, and just starting fresh in a brand new place was very eye-opening and very beneficial. Like, of course there's pros and cons, but in my opinion, the pros outweigh the cons. Like, I have felt lonely, I've missed my friends. It's more expensive than it was to live with my parents, but overall, I've had so much time and renewed like energy, I guess. Like, decorating my apartment was fun, living with my boyfriend is super fun. There's so many things that I'm grateful for living in a brand new place, and I'm hoping that once I get this job that I'm trying to manifest, I can make some great new friends here. Because that's the one thing that I'm craving right now is just social interaction, because I am pretty much an extrovert. Like, I love my alone time and I appreciate being alone, but I thrive with people. And my favorite thing to do before the pandemic was go to concerts. And the fact that I haven't gone to a concert in like over a year now, no, I went to a drive-in show, so that counts, but it's just breaking my heart, because that was the one thing that I really enjoyed doing. I love being surrounded by people and music. I can't do that, so that's been really tough, but that is just because of the pandemic. So again, a lot of things contribute, but moving out was a big step. And yeah, it's scary, but it's worth it. Like, even for example, there's one thing that's like holding me back right now from like truly stepping into this version of myself that I'm trying to become, which is like, I want to sell myself on social media, basically. Like, I want my TikTok to blow up. I want my YouTube to blow up. I want to sell my art online. I want to do tarot readings online. Like, I really just have to be confident in selling myself. But I go back and forth between like wanting to start a brand new Instagram, because I get like, it is just me overthinking, but sometimes I get a little nervous with knowing that, you know, I have old coworkers and family members and neighbors and just like people that know me in real life following me on my Instagram and stuff. And it makes me like not want to sell myself in that way, because they know me as the person that I used to be, not the person that I am now. So it's just kind of like an internal struggle for me sometimes. But being in a brand new place, like, I can go anywhere and be guaranteed that I'm not gonna run into anyone from high school or like someone who I had an issue with, or like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so freeing to just like go 5 minutes to the grocery store and I'm not gonna see anybody I know there. I don't know, something about me just loves that. I feel like it's kind of a common experience that people like have an online presence and then they have their in-person presence. And mine now, I'm trying to be authentic on the internet, but the people from my past, they would see me and not even like recognize me. I'm just like a completely different person than I used to be, you know? So I get caught up thinking about things like that, but I'm working on getting over it and just not caring what anyone else thinks. I'm proud of this version of myself that I'm becoming. And also, if you relate to that, also remember that not everyone is like judging you in a negative way. Like, for example, if I see somebody that I went to high school with and I see them starting their own business or like doing something new or just like becoming successful in the way that they want to be, I feel nothing but like proud for them. Even if I didn't really know them, even if like we've never talked, like I just get this sense of like, yeah, that person, I went to high school with them and they're like doing their thing now. And it makes me happy and it inspires me. So you being yourself could inspire other people, and that's something that I'm learning to appreciate too. This is a little happy spot out on my patio. And who loves it even more than me? This little girl. I need to get a harness for her so that we can take her on little walks. My little baby. So beautiful. I love her so much. It is my absolute favorite thing to just sit with my cat. She's so calming. Like, cats don't have any responsibilities. They are just existing unapologetically and they're just chilling all the time. And I need to learn from that. I love her so much. My whole world. So sad that I'm allergic to cats, but I will remain like this forever. Since I do ignore the fact that I'm allergic to my cat, The absolute saddest part about having allergies is the fact that I took out my nose ring because I was having so much trouble with my nose and having trouble breathing. I thought maybe getting my nose re-pierced was contributing to it, because I got my nose pierced at 16 and then had surgery on my nose at 19 and then re-pierced it like a year ago, and then had my nose ring for about a year, but then my nose started to get really bad again because of allergies. But I was like, what if I'm allergic to the metal that's in my nose? And I thought maybe it would make my breathing easier. And I'm just so sad because I love having a nose ring. It was like part of me. It was such a core part of my personality, and now I don't have a nose ring, and it makes me really sad. Should I pierce it again? Should I try the other side? I always had it pierced on this side. Maybe I should do this side. I just want a nose ring.